I started out smoking weed and drinking, but by the time I got to 33, I was on meth, an everyday user. I was dealing drugs and, just to kind of, feed my habit. So that's just how it really, ended for me. But it ended because of Jesus. It wasn't really anything that I had done. It was him coming into my life. Hello, my name is Amanda Hatfield, and I have been saved now for almost 9 years. Well, the Lord had came into my life whenever I was 33. I'm 42 now, but he had came into my life, and he had just set me free from so many things. I was addicted to drugs, from the time I was 15 until 33. I started out smoking weed and just drinking with my friends, going out ridge running, and just having a good time is what I thought it was. But it doesn't take long to get an addiction. We like that. It's fun. It's a good time. And that's what the Bible says. There's pleasure in sin for a season, but the end are the ways of death. So there is fun in going out and being with your friends and getting high and drinking. There's little moments of it, but then there comes a time to where it's not really fun anymore. It's an addiction, and it's something that you think of as soon as you wake up, and you just continue on with it until you finally pass out. And that's really how I was. I started out smoking weed and drinking, but by the time I got to 33, I was on meth, an everyday user. I was dealing drugs and just to kind of feed my habit. So that's just how it really ended for me. But it ended because of Jesus. It wasn't really anything that I had done. It was him coming into my life and setting me free from those things. So I did end up going to prison for a couple of years, and that was really one of the best things that ever happened to me. It got me away from those people, places, and things. And while I was in prison, I read the Bible. It didn't start out like that. I was probably in there for maybe about 2 months or so, and finally I started reading the Bible, and I did it every day. I really spent most of my time in my cell by myself, just reading the Bible. And I think that I read the Bible 2 times. I was starting on my 3rd, possibly, by the time I got out of there. So that just shows how much I was just getting with the Lord, and I was getting to know him. Whenever they would have church or anything like that, in the prisons, I would be there. So I just really wanted to get to know the Lord, and I wanted something different for my life. I had kids, and I do have kids, and I really hurt them. I hurt them by leaving them with my mom and just kind of running out on them. They would see me here and there. Like, I would always come back to my mom's house, whenever I was done running around. But, I wasn't there as a mother like I needed to be. I thought that if I bought them toys and I just kind of dropped them off for their birthdays or Christmas and, and I ran back off again, that was good enough. But they really didn't need those things. They needed me to be there with them. But, yeah, so in my stay in prison, I got to know the Lord, and at the end of my 2 years, I ended up getting out, and I haven't touched drugs since. And I've been out since 2019, and it's 2026 now. So it's all because of the Lord. It's all because of what he's done in my life and how he's changed just who I am. And the Bible talks about that. The Bible says that he gives us new desires. He gives us a new heart, to where we don't want those things that we used to want anymore. Those things that used to satisfy me and pleasure me, they don't do that anymore because, I don't have that heart of stone. I don't have those fleshly desires in me anymore. I have Jesus living within me. He's given me a heart of flesh. And he's given me his spirit to overcome the things of this world. And we can't do anything without him. I'm speaking like I can't do anything without him. I need him every day because there's so many temptations out there. There's so many things that try to draw us away from him. We go into the gas station and you can go right in there and you can get weed or you can get alcohol, and it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better. So we have to have Jesus so close with us. Or, if we want that long sobriety and we want to be a good parent, we want to be a good wife and husband and, even a good friend. I didn't know how to be a friend before Jesus. I didn't know how to love and, care for others before I knew him because I was so selfish. So Jesus changes everything about us. And I'm so grateful for that. And one of like my testimonies is about meeting Jeremy. Jeremy, he's become such a good friend of me and my husband's. We had problems, different issues. Whenever you're in a relationship, not every moment is a good moment. You have disagreements and stuff. But Jeremy has been there for my husband, to counsel him, to lead him, and even just to help us with different things that's going on in our relationship. But I met Jeremy at a Kickstart a few years ago. He was at his sister's doing one of his Kickstarts, and that was the first time I had met him. And him, his sister, and his mom are just they're just blessings in our life. I still hang out with his mom here and there, and we do different ministry things, and so they're just great people, and I'm thankful and blessed to have met them. So thank you. I appreciate your time, and that was a little bit of my testimony.
Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'm Jeremy Gilbert with the ministry Church Underground. If you want to watch more teaching and testimonies to strengthen your faith, you can subscribe to our channel by clicking right over here, or you can watch the next video in our channel by clicking right over here. And if you really think that this video might help someone else, please share it with them. God bless you. Much love.